Greetings, welcome to Basketball Rules Expert live from the A Better Official World Headquarters here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. We are excited to be here at an extensive pregame with my tech team, and we are ready to rock and roll today, look at some rules scenarios, and talk about all of the things that we like to do. That's what we do. Good to see everybody. Chris Janish, apparently a very early riser and in the chat early. I don't see the chat until I actually go live. I don't have like YouTube up. It's all very complicated. I leave all the details to my elite tech team that we know and love so well. Kudos to them. I didn't even do that. Michael Hogg is in the house. And Greg Becker, yes. We were not late today. If you took the under, you were probably successful. Michael. True for my live streams or also true for other things? Mike Myers is in the chat. Good to see you, Mike. And Dakota Ted. So South Dakota dominating the chat early. Darwin, apparently, I'm informed that there was some problem with Michigan football at some point. Are you okay? Have people checked in on Darwin after some football results of some sort? Yeah, it's true. Stan Bickler jumping in. Good to see you, Stan. Hope everybody's well. I hope games are going well for people. I had a great game last night. Boys varsity, 2-person. Not my favorite gym. You know how? Do you have gyms that you love working in? And gyms, it's just like something about it. The lighting, the configuration, the background, the placement of the shot clocks. Yeah, that's a thing. The table, etc. It's just like not my favorite gym, but a great game. Visitors looked early like they were going to dominate the game, but our plucky home team had it tied with about 2.5 remaining. And nature took its course. Ultimately, the better team won, but it was a great game. Great game. Patrick Weaver is in the house from New Hampshire. Appreciate that. Excellent. Well, if we can help in developing rules knowledge, this is good. I'm going to try to modify that. See if I can. Can I? Now, if I do that and then I say Mike Goodwin, I'll put there like that. I guess the tech team can't do everything. Martin Tim from southern Indiana. Excellent. It's like 10 a.m. You're feeling good. Milwaukee is in the house. It's been a bit rainy here in the beautiful San Francisco. Thomas, it's been a bit rainy here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. Yesterday was wild weather, so I was in another part of the Bay Area. It's basically relatively sunny, and I'm hearing reports of hail in Oakland and severe rain in other parts. It was very. It all depended on where you were yesterday here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. Jason Hayes jumping in from Missouri. Good to see you, Jason. And Jeff Weichman, snowy Minnesota. Is that an oxymoron? No, frigid Minnesota, I think would be the. Southern Indiana is represented. And Jeffrey Hodge jumping in from Michigan. Okay, excellent. Signed up for notifications. That's excellent. Hey, if everybody could just take a moment, hit the like button on the stream. Let's see if we can amplify the stream today. Will it be our best? Will it be our best basketball rules expert ever? No. But at least it will be well constructed. Well constructed. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Buzzer beater last night. Always love a buzzer beater. Except for that guy on that last video we had on 5 Play Friday. Oh, it's a great way, just because it's a natural ending to the game, right? In buzzer beater situations, people are not, hey ref, hey ref, hey ref. There's no energy, right? The game has been allowed to come to a natural conclusion, either the buzzer beater or the last second shot that misses, right? But the tension rises. It's great. Fantastic. Or as Jason Hayes would say, sweet. Whew. Alan Mowry jumping in. Good to see you, Alan. Why would people stay away? Well, I'll tell you what, one thing that I find. So I worked some youth games over the weekend, some CYO games. And it's like, well, for young officials working lower levels, work as many games as possible, right? That's the guidance. Work as many big games as possible, see plays develop, etc. But boy, is it a trap. When you're working youth games and the level of play is really low, the game becomes very ball-centric. And if you are the off-ball official, you develop nothing but bad habits. Is there anything for me to officiate off-ball? No, right? So naturally we gravitate to the ball. Find that that's the case. That's the way the game is. The game is very ball-centric. So I would just caution that bad habits can be developed. I noticed that at the start of the season. It's like, yeah, you just notice it. And as long as you recognize the situation. Last night, a ref told the player he won't call hand checks unless it's two hands. Is that correct? Well, no. So our rule in the rules book about hand checks is, what do we got? We've got a hand that is placed on and stays on, a single hand, an arm bar that is placed on a ball handler, two hands that are placed on a ball handler, or multiple touches. One touch, hands off, second touch, etc. Right? The players are basically allowed a hot stove touch, a reach out to determine, length, distance, etc. That would be by rule. So to limit that to two hands would be incorrect. Simply, very straightforward. Now, how hand checking is called in a game. So in my game last night, I had a inbounds play. I'm new trail, press situation. Foul is ruled. We're going to go to the other end. We're going to shoot bonus free throws, right? On the throw-in, a player pushed from behind, led to possession consequence, right? And I ruled a foul, and we are going to shoot bonus free throws. We're going to the other end. I go to the table to report, and the offended coach, in this instance, says, I understand. Yes, he was pushed, but we had a play similar, or not similar, but your partner said he wasn't going to call that because put a whistle on a play when something similar happened in their mind. And, just basically pointing out the inconsistency, his perceived inconsistency from the crew. And the inconsistency, even whether it's actual or perceived, is, not something we want in the game. We want consistency as a crew. So that was in my game last night. Cerritos, is that in the Southern California area? I am not familiar. Get off the trike? Is that a saying? Oh. Michael Hogg is just making friends in the chat. Indiana appears to be dominating. We got South Dakota and Michigan and Indiana dominating. Where are some familiar voices? Where is Billy Mack? Oof. Boof. Rough. 5 games. 5 games at what level? Rick, let us know. Well, it could be great for working at all of the things. All of the things. Al Kennedy's in the house. Okay. And the Zooch is here. And that, you know what that means. We can get started. Wait a minute. We can get started. Did that play?
Bruh.
No, I guess it didn't. Oh. Gotcha. Thanks for filling me in, Rick. Okay. What am I going to do? Wait a minute. Where are we? Oh, my extensive pregame with my tech team. I was given specific instructions about how to proceed. Okay. Now I'm going to do that, and then I want to do that. And then I want to do that. Okay. All right. I think I can do it, guys. Okay. Play scenarios is why we're here. Let's go. Stick around. Greetings and welcome back to the Basketball Rules Expert, the show where we look at play scenarios so we can get better, stay sharp as basketball officials. Let's get going today with our very first play scenario. Prior to the game, the visiting team properly uses the east goal and the home team the west goal. The officials, by mistake, allow the jumpers to face the wrong direction. Several baskets are scored before it is recognized that the teams are going in the wrong direction. The officials rule that all scoring and activity shall count. They correct the direction and let the game proceed. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? So a mistake has been made in the game. For whatever reason, players were going in the wrong direction to start the game. Basketball has been played. Time has been run off of the clock. Goals have been scored. Fouls may or may not have occurred. Basketball has been played, and it is recognized that teams are going in the wrong direction. The officials simply say, we recognize the mistake. Here's the correction prescribed by rule. Everything shall count. We will fix the direction. We will make sure everybody understands what's going to happen next, and then we'll proceed, and the game will proceed as it should, right? A really simple and straightforward thing. One thing it emphasizes is that human beings are involved in the game of basketball, right? Mistakes will occur. Sometimes they are correctable error scenarios that have very specific remedy. Sometimes they're just simply mistakes that have occurred, and how to remedy the mistake is the important takeaway. If we remedy mistakes by rule, we're in great shape. So in this case, if we'd said, oh, okay, we've obviously something has gone wrong, let's go back and we'll re-jump the ball at 8, no. Simply correct, as the officials did here. So in this instance where the officials did just that, were our officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This is the correct remedy for this mistake being made. It can happen at the start of the game. It can happen in an overtime scenario. The simple remedy is recognize, fix, move on. That's what the simple remedy is. That's a scenario from out of the past. The Zooch, astounded the officials got it correct. Stick around. We'll screw up the next play, which is very, very personal to me. Oh, an easy play to get us started. Okay, I want to go there. Yes. Okay, let me think this through. With both teams in the bonus, A1 is fouled by B1. Before A1 releases the try on the first throw, teammate A2 fouls B2. A1's throw is successful. The officials score the goal and then clear the lane for A1's second merited free throw, then resume play with B2's bonus free throws with lane spaces filled. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Both teams are in the bonus. A1 is fouled, awarded their merited free throws during the first free throw, after they've begun their habitual throwing motion, but prior to the release, their teammate fouls an opponent in a marked lane space. A foul is ruled. The ball goes in the basket. The officials score the goal, say, hey, they report the foul. We're going to go to the other end and shoot bonus free throws. But first, we have a merited free throw left for our thrower. And they proceed in this fashion. Everything seems great. But the reason I've posted this play is I get this wrong all the time on Basketball Rules Expert. My brain will not process correctly that this is a team control foul by rule. I got it wrong in the preseason rules test. I got it wrong in explaining a situation. So we've put it back on the table so we can look at this play. Prior to the release, a foul by a teammate causes the ball to become dead. Does it eliminate the fact that A1 will be awarded merited free throws? No, but it causes the ball to become dead. No goal can be scored. This is a team control foul by rule. Will bonus free throws be attempted as a result? No, they will not. Let's make that super clear. If I've made a mistake in a previous video, we're fixing it now. There is no bonus free throws will be attempted as a result. But we will have the resumption. We do have to adjudicate the foul on this play, right? So in this situation, A1 has been awarded merited free throws. Have they attempted their merited free throws? No. They are due those. We will clear the lane in this instance after reporting the foul. A1 will attempt their first of merited bonus free throws. If successful, they will be attempting a second. And after that, we will have a throw-in nearest the spot of the foul, and that is how the game shall be resumed. So in this instance where the officials scored the goal and attempted bonus free throws at the other end, were those officials correct? No, they were not. And was I correct when I screwed this play up on previous episodes? No, I was not. This would be the correct adjudication of this play. Recognizing that since it was prior to the release, it is a team control foul. That's the key component. Prior to the release, a team control foul. If it was after the release, then our officials would have adjudicated everything properly. But since it was prior, it's a team control foul. The ball became dead. Ay. Good morning, Dr. Phil. Oy. And Greg, you are correct. All right, Thomas in the house. Good to see you on the live stream. Probably. Let's imagine an extended arm and a displacement, right? So I'm a teammate of the thrower, and I'm in the second marked lane space, and prior to the release, I extend an arm on B2 who's, ready to, or I push them into the lane, right? It's an unusual scenario. It's an unusual scenario, but certainly one that could happen. Or let's say our thrower has, part of the problem is our thrower has sort of a release that is, the rhythm is unusual or deceptive, right? They lift the ball and then release, and that causes a moment where people are anticipating. But it could involve a violation as well, right? If B2 in the lower marked lane space came into the came in early and then was displaced, still a possibility if that was the case. But since we would have a delayed lane violation, but since we don't have an attempted throw, there would be no replacement free throw related to that. So it's just a situation that could possibly occur, and my brain just keeps missing the fact that it's a team control foul. And then I look at the chat in previous episodes, and somebody like Greg says team control. I go, ay. Vic, can this broadcast be seen anywhere after this live presentation? Vic is on Facebook asking that question. Vic, I encourage you to join us on YouTube for, what we do is we film the show live. We stream it to YouTube and in this case, Facebook as well. And then there will be an edited version, which will be much shorter. Some people, for some reason, enjoy the much shorter version. And that's always available on our YouTube channel. You can find that by a Google search of A Better Official. Oh, and Billy Mack is in the house. Billy Mack, do you keep chickens currently? How many chickens do you have? Let us know in the chat. Or is that just related to a past keeping of chickens? I don't remember the answer. We, of course, here at A Better Official World Headquarters used to keep chickens as well. The eggs were fantastic. Thomas, you are correct. You are correct. You are correct. Jim asking about on the ground or in the act of shooting. Of course, on the ground is language that we hear that's from stakeholders in the game, from people adjacent to the game, announcers, etc. We would not want to use that language as officials, but we can have a situation where the foul occurred before the try, before the shot, or after. Oh, okay. And so what is our production from your elite tech team there in the dark winter hours? Are they low level production? Unlike my tech team, which is elite. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, interesting. So Tony says, still exploding thanks to the Raptors from 2019. And that's either a great reference or it's a absolute troll job on my Golden State Warriors. and their unfortunate loss in the playoffs. Which is it? I'm saying it's not a troll job. It's not. But that's interesting that for whatever reason, basketball is not super popular, but then, there's an explosion after the fact. That's interesting and awesome. And so that's going to mean you're going to need a lot of basketball officials. Interesting. Thank you, Thomas. Thanks for jumping in on YouTube chats as well, or comments as well. Appreciate it. Yeah, just an opportunity for me to recognize my Golden State Warriors are not doing great. Kind of laid an egg, no pun intended, last night on national television. Yeah. Yes. Very seasonal in the egg production for our hens. Okay. All right. So I got that off of my chest. I did not screw that play up. What am I want to do? I want to go there. No? A1 completes the throw into A2 to begin the second half. A2 is confused and dribbles toward the basket Team A used during the first half and dunks the ball into the basket of Team B. The officials rule a legal goal for Team B and award a non-designated spot throw in to Team A along the end line. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right, I'm turned around already on this play, right? So we have a confused player to start the second half. We award the ball to Team A. They are supposed to go this way. They go that way. They dunk the ball into their basket or their opponent's basket. And the officials rule that goal shall count, and it will be a non-designated spot throw-in along the end line for Team A, right? So when this situation occurs in the game, everybody is stunned, confused, right? Everybody questions, like Team B, the players, right? I have seen in my game something like this occurs, and all of the players just adapt immediately, and everybody starts going the wrong direction. It happens. Team B in this instance takes the ball out, pushes the ball up court. Players are very adaptable in this situation. But in this situation, right, a team has scored in the opponent's goal. That is 2 points for the opponent. The end line throw-in in this instance would go to Team A since it's after a scored goal. After a scored goal, we would award the ball to Team A for a non-designated spot throw-in, and the game shall continue. If there's any sense of confusion, right, we would want to put our voice in the game. We could always stop play if something is about to occur that's incorrect. But in this instance, the officials seem to have done the correct thing. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes, they were. This would be the proper adjudication. Goal for the opponent. You can hear the head coach now yelling at his player. And we are moving on from that situation. It happens. I think it just happened to me in a youth game. NGOs. In National Federation of High School Basketball rules, Tony, there's no restriction on shoes, color, socks, and what have you. Patrick says, what if when he dunked, he hung on it too long to celebrate? Well, now the coach is really his hair is turning gray. Well, we certainly can assess a technical foul. The restriction on hanging on the rim or the net is not related to a team's own basket. So if our player dunked and did a pull-up and some gesticulation and slapping of the backboard or what have you, yes, we would expect that player will be removed from the game by their head coach soon thereafter. But player technical is certainly on the table there. Score that goal, says Joe Kenke. Patrick, so why wouldn't the goal? If our player goes up, dunks the ball, and hangs, right? The ball has passed through. So I guess you're trying to say, okay, they did something illegal prior to dunking the ball. So let's say they went up. How could we? Let's say they, in theory, grabbed the padding on the backboard, and pulled themselves up that allowed them to dunk. And the pulling of, using the backboard or the ring to enhance their ability to play the game would be a player technical. And so they did that prior to dunking of the ball. And so the player technical caused the ball to become dead, right? So, but it's hard to find a situation where if we go up and dunk and then hang, right, the dunk has occurred, the ball has passed through the goal, and then the action that led to the technical foul would occur. So while you could probably construct a situation where the technical foul occurred prior to the goal, causing the ball to become dead, this was not a try for goal, etc., that could potentially be a thing. Usually, Thomas, we're going to have a correctable error scenario coming up, so why don't we save that, and we will remember that. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, wheels and lights. You can only have one. You can have lights and not wheels, or wheels and not no. But if your shoes have wheels and you don't use them, or if the lights are burned out, the battery's dead. That is correct, Tony. We share that as well. Yeah, we love the drum roll. Okay, so Thomas sort of has a more likely scenario. We grab the ring, pull up, and then dunk, right? Then we would not have a goal. Thomas Hedian jumping in from Virginia. Yeah, hey, no problem. We love to respond to situations that come up as a result of the situations that we have, right? Because that's what we're here to do. Just talk about the rules. Correct. All right. Okay. This is always the risky part of the show. Hey, we've got a group of tremendous show supporters. Who is up on the show supporter big board today? Brett Temple, David Yannickian, Jonathan Harris, Herb Hahn, and Roger George. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? I'll put a link down in the show notes below. And yes, I'm going to put one up above. I need to do this. I need to do some things. I need to do some things. I got a problem in that sequence. It's a risky maneuver, but here it comes. A1 is fouled by B1 during rebounding action. The players then go face-to-face and a double technical foul is called. The original foul by B1 was the 10th team foul on Team B. The officials report all the fouls, then resume the game with 2 free throws by A1 with players in marked lane spaces. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? A1 is fouled during rebounding action, and it's the 10th team foul. The result of that foul would be the awarding of 2 merited bonus free throws to A1. After the play, 2 players exchange pleasantries, not happy with each other. Double technical fouls are assessed on those players. The officials report all of the fouls and resume. After a double foul situation, we would resume at the point of interruption. What was the point of interruption on this play? Right? If the technical fouls had not occurred, what would happen next? That's our point of interruption. Our point of interruption is A1 would be attempting 2 merited bonus free throws, and that's how the officials resumed the game. So in this instance, where the officials did resume the game with those merited free throws, were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This is a correct adjudication. Anytime we have double technicals, which we have in this situation for dead ball action, double foul, we always resume at the point of interruption and no free throws will be attempted as the result of that action. Double foul, no free throws, resume at the point of interruption. Right? One of the things we like to talk about this show is that we take National Federation rules with us, simplify, clarify. One of the things we like to talk about on this show is taking the rules with us onto the basketball court, right? Having fundamental concepts about the rules that we can rely on. Simplifying, clarifying, and amplifying the rules so that we could take them with us onto the basketball court, because that's where it counts. One of the things we can always take with us is that a double foul, double technical, double intentional, double flagrant, double no free throws shall be attempted, and resume at the point of interruption. Yeah. Oh, Mikey, love the Alfred E. Newman on the avatar. Excellent. Love it. Did I screw my play up? Did I have ward the ball? Oh, yes, we have an elite crew. Point of interruption. Tony, National Federation of High School Basketball rules, the ball contacting the backboard is not a part of either goaltending or basket interference. Different from NCAA men's or NBA, by rule, when the ball contacts a try contacts the backboard, it's considered to be on its downward flight. So if it still has a chance to go in at those levels, and the ball is touched, then it is goaltending by rule. But in National Federation of High School, that does not apply. If the ball is not yet on its downward flight, then it is not goaltending. National Federation of High School basketball rules. Jeffrey, I think we might have a play that mimics that coming up. But obviously, if anytime a player is disqualified and is due merited free throws, who will attempt those merited free throws at the National Federation of High School basketball level? Their substitute. Who determines who their substitute is? Their head coach replaces that player who's been disqualified, etc., etc. There's no opposing coaches choosing. Jacob is in the house. Good. I'm glad we got Warriors talk out of the way before Jacob showed up. Oh. A1 is disqualified for receiving a fifth personal foul. With 2 minutes remaining in the game, A1 re-enters the game and as a substitute, guess what? I'm going to start over. A1 is disqualified for receiving a fifth personal foul. With 2 minutes remaining in the game, A1 re-enters the game as a substitute and promptly scores a goal. The officials don't recognize A1's entry until during the dead ball after A1's goal. The officials score the goal, count the goal, and rule a direct technical foul on the head coach of Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Well, now this is not something we see every day. The player has been disqualified. Hopefully, our crew had properly notified the coach. Coach, that player has 5. That's the only way the player would become disqualified. Right? That is when a player becomes disqualified. If they had simply fouled and left the game, and the coach was not, but let's assume that they had been, and the player then re-enters the game. They score a goal. Players, they recognize the opposing coach says, hey, you can't count that goal, right? He was an illegal player, etc., what have you, right? What do we know about substitutes? What do we know about disqualified players re-entering the game? Right? It is illegal for a disqualified player to re-enter the game. Who bears the responsibility for that action? National Federation of High School basketball rules. It is the responsibility of the head coach to allow this to occur. When a player illegally enters the game, which we would say occurred, that's yet to be determined about this play, but that player entered the game and played basketball. The result of any activity they had will count. We will not take time off the clock. We will not take points off the board in this situation. A mistake has occurred in the game. What is the remedy for that mistake? Right? We are never authorized in this instance to take time off the clock, put that time back on the clock, take points off of the board. Those are not allowed for us in this instance. We simply recognize the situation. We properly assess a technical foul on the head coach. We shoot those technical foul free throws. Division line throw-in is how we would resume the game. So in this instance, where the officials scored the goal, allowed it to happen, and then assessed a direct technical foul on the head coach. Were our officials correct in this instance? Yes or no? Yes, they were. This would be the correct adjudication on this play. Unlikely and unique play scenario. Darwin is making me question myself about my score in the wrong basket. That's always the key question. But the rules question, though, does say the player had been disqualified. And the only way that they would have been disqualified is if the coach was properly notified. That's when a player becomes disqualified. Ay, ay, ay. We do not, here in California, we do not, that is not a thing. Monitoring quarters that players play, like JV players play their game and then they play on the varsity team or something. That is just not a thing here in California. Oh, thanks, Chris, for setting me up. You are setting me up. Chris Janish in the chat, I find myself needing to do a better job of slowing down and taking my time when a player is disqualified on a fifth foul, sounding the horn, alerting the head coach, etc. Need to take time and do it right. Chris, I agree with you, and this is something that it's a key moment of the game, and we want to really be on point. That's why I created this 5 minutes on officiating video to help us go through that process. If you're interested in improving your disqualification process, check out this video that we linked above. It's like a commercial built in. Yeah, but it's a key moment of the game, right? And because first of all, what do we have a possibility of the coach doing some, what are you talking about, coach stuff? No, I get my 30 seconds. I want my players over here. The whole reason it's been reduced to 15 is to not have that, coach. So, many coaches will sort of have a little tantrum moment, right? I am obstinate. You fouled my player out. I'm going to stand here and not do anything for the entire 15 seconds. Or they have a misconception about how much time they have. That's why when I do my pregame with my timer, I always say, look, right, I need two horns on every timeout, right? The intermission between periods is just like a 1 minute timeout. 2 horns, one with 15 seconds remaining, one with 0, right? Be really precise about that stuff. If we have a disqualified player, right, I'm going to try, this is a moment that head coaches may act out for whatever reason. I'm not saying your head coach will, but for whatever reason, right? So here's right. What we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, coach, that's 5, and we're going to ask you for a horn. And when we ask you for a horn, that starts a 15-second interval. Don't come early with a second horn, right? Let the entire 15 expire and then a horn, right? And we'll manage it from there, because the way we manage it may be once that we don't have a substitute and that second horn sounds, some would say that's actually how it should be done. But when that happens, that's a direct technical foul on the head coach. But we want to manage that process in a way that's best for the game, right? So that's going to be my pregame instruction with my timer. And they're usually unfamiliar with that part of things, disqualified player, 2 horns, 15-second interval. It's not something, that they're best at. They're best at. But what we want to do is manage the situation, right? Coach, that's 5, right? If it's just a business, we may want to habitually get our timers and say, coach, that player has 5. I need a sub. Give me a horn, and make sure we do that every single time so that in a high stress moment, we don't forget that part of the equation. But sometimes the head coach is informing you, right? They already have a sub at the table, and they know it's the fifth foul, and you don't, right? You can get into that situation as well. But it's a key moment for officials with the disqualification procedure, one that can be filled with some emotion, some, it was a great call. I feel great about it. It was like, oh my God, that was such a weak ass foul that I just put on their best player, and it was his fifth foul. And if I'd known he had four, I wouldn't have put a whistle on the play. And we're feeling down. So having some habitual actions that we can go to is good. But it was our best player, and I didn't know he had four. I didn't know. Oy, oy, oy. Well, Jacob, some people would say that is skirting the rules by having that approach. Yeah, some would say. So with that, I'm going to go. All right, let's move on to another play scenario. Dribbler A1 is fouled. It is the seventh foul on Team B. The officials erroneously award a throw-in. During the dead ball, A1 is replaced by A6. The ball is inbounded, and while Team A has the ball in the front court, the table alerts the crew of the error. The officials rule that the free throws will be attempted by A1, who will re-enter the game replacing A6. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Wow, this is a tough scenario, right? We have a player who is fouled. It is the seventh team foul. They should be awarded merited free throws, but instead, a throw-in is ruled. The ball is inbounded. The ball is in play. The horn sounds, hey, ref, 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 ref. That was 7. That should be 1-1, right? The officials say, hey, we're going to pull that offended player off of the bench and have them attempt their merited free throws. Is that the correct ruling in this situation? Boy, this is a unique situation, and one that is fortunately addressed by case play, right? The case play in this situation says, yes, this is the correct ruling. That player was the offended player, and we will not have their substitute attempt the free throws, but rather that player will be brought back in the game and attempt those merited free throws. That is not an intuitive ruling in this situation, but is correct. So when our officials in this instance did exactly that, obviously our officials were in the rules book, in the case book, and knew the correct ruling, and yes, they were. That is the correct ruling on this play. We are bringing that player back in the game to attempt those merited free throws. That is non-intuitive to me, but that's the correct ruling on the play. Whew. Bah. All right, how we doing for time? Only an hour in. Let's see how many scenarios we got left. Ooh, lots. Okay. All right. No. You see, that's where I get myself into trouble. Why? Because I hate. Everybody likes the farmer to show up. And why is the farmer a mouse? Okay. I'm ready. A1. Go there. All right, that was a tough play scenario. Let's look at our next one. Dribbler, A1 is foul. How did I end up here? Oh. That was a tough scenario, but let's move on to our next play scenario. A1 is charged with her 5th personal foul, and upset at herself, she reacts with a loud profanity. The covering official also charges A1 with a technical foul. The officials rule that A1 is disqualified for getting the 5th foul, and that the technical foul is also charged indirectly to the head coach, since it occurred after the disqualifying foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? So this player receives a foul. It is her 5th foul, and afterward is assessed a technical foul. The officials say, hey, well, she got her 5th. That disqualifies her. And then she got one after that. So that is a bench technical in that instance. And that is going to be an indirect on the head coach. And that's their ruling. But our officials were confused on this play because that player is not disqualified and they are not bench personnel until what simple act occurs? Coach, that player has 5. Right? That is the moment a player becomes disqualified. Prior to that, they could be assessed several technical fouls. Right? They could have a tantrum on the court. So in this instance, our officials have made a mistake. This is not the correct ruling on the play. A player is only disqualified when the coach is informed that the player has 5 fouls, and until that point, they are not bench personnel. If, in this instance, rather than the way that played out in this instance, this player received their 5th foul, right? The coach is properly informed. On their way to the bench, as they're pulling out their shirt, they say something untowards, or they do the same action, a loud profanity, right? Oh, that's a technical foul on that team member at that point. And that, since the coach had been notified at that point, that player would be considered bench personnel from that point forward, and that would be the correct ruling that we got on this play. But that's not what occurred on this one. So our crew got it wrong. Yeah. I got to shed all the stuff on the screen. What's this? Ooh, hot coffee, cold handle. Interesting. Oh. Yeah, of course, National Federation of High School Basketball rules requires that our scorer wear a striped shirt. The penalty, if they do not, is not defined. That is so true. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed. I just feel I'm unnecessarily awarding, not awarding. Yeah. Okay. Warren is correct. Yes. I have been in the same situation while operating the clock. Rick, absolutely. All fouls count in National Federation of High School. All fouls count towards bonus. A team foul count towards bonus. Absolutely. So administrative technical, team technical, player technical, substitute technical, all technicals count. All fouls count. Yes. Kurt Johnson in the chat. Good to see you, Kurt. Jacob asks, is there any circumstance where a player can be ejected to the locker room? Well, no. The officials are not to direct a player to the locker room. Can a player leave the team bench area and be taken to the locker room in any situation? Right? First of all, a player on the bench has to go to the bathroom and leaves the bench area to go to the bathroom. No. A player is injured and is taken to the locker room because that's where the trainer's table is, and they won't need to get their ankles retaped, etc. Right? There's not a requirement that we don't consider the bench area to be a prison in which team members must stay. If we have a mutual area where players from both teams can receive medical attention, a bench set up, a table set up somewhere, can both teams leave their bench area to do that? Yes. So we have a situation where, let's say we have a situation where we have a player who's wildly upset. They are emotional. They are their presence is, or they are, angry at an opponent, and the coach says, okay, we cannot trust this player to be on our bench, or this is not good for my team, etc. Tells their assistant coach, you take Johnny back to the locker room. Right? Is that allowed? Yes. Yes, it is. What's not allowed is we tell the coaches, those players gotta go. Right? Let's say two players were double technical fouls. They're really upset with each other, but we assess the technical fouls, and they are flagrant, and we tell the coaches they've got to go. They've got to go. Right? The coaches send their players to their locker rooms. Right? We're about to resume the game, and everybody's running towards the exit. Something's going on in the hallway. What could it possibly be? Right? We don't want a situation where we have directed somebody to leave the visual confines and then something happens outside the visual confines. The parent of the offended player accosts them in the hallway, and there's a shouting match and shoving and fighting or whatever, right? We don't want to be involved in the direction of that. But if the coaches, say we want this player removed, and they take them out and they are under adult supervision, this is all very legal by rule. Billy Mack says, I had a coach bring the home book into the halftime locker room with him. Illegal, but no penalty at the National Federation of High School Basketball level. It is frowned upon. A stern warning, coach, you can't do that, but no penalty. If the officials by case play if the officials feel that there may have been some légère de main. Is that the right? Sleight of hand? So a little erasure. They can go to the visiting book and make the visiting book the official book for the game. Obviously, in that situation, if we suspected anything, we would want to have the two books compare. Yeah. Jeffrey, you are correct. Yes. Yes, indeed. Ooh. Wow. That's strong. There is a case play, but the case play says no technical foul, right? At the NCAA women's level, same thing occurs. It is a technical foul. So if you're ever working a game with an official who does other levels, make sure you stand up for high school rules. But one thing this, Billy's scenario points out is, because this happened to me in my game, that the other coach says, hey, they took the book. I got assessed a technical foul back in the day. You have to assess a technical foul to them, right? And our crew's like looking at each other like, do we know? Do we know what the correct ruling here is? And I was also working with two NCAA women's officials, right? It can really throw you for a loop, right? You're going to thinking about it. You're not sure. You're going to come up with a ruling. No, we're not going to assess technical foul. Was that the right thing, etc.? How is that going to affect our officiating going forward? What's our ability to say, well, any way you slice it, our ruling is this. We're leaving that behind. Let's focus on the game at hand. Because for me, what I discovered in that situation was I was not focused in the game at hand. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, did we get that right? So. Oh, okay. If the officials believe the scorebook was removed as an unsporting act, it should be penalized accordingly. How would the... Okay, so let's say there's no visiting book for whatever reason. And... Or they took the book with them so that the other team didn't have access to the information they're in. Leitner says there was a game here and the entire student section was removed from the stadium. I could see that happening. If you have continuous interruptions or your student section is doing something that's offensive, right? Like racial epithets, homophobic, whatever, right? And they will not stop, and game administration does not get them to do it, or there's constantly lights being flashed on the court and it can't be detected, right? Could we direct an entire student section to depart? Absolutely. Or, well, could we work with game administration and say, here's what needs to happen, and then they direct those people to exit? Encyclopedic knowledge of the casebook is my good one. Here we go, another play. During pregame warm-ups, an official notices that home team player A1 is wearing a red head covering, as well as a black long-sleeve undershirt and leggings. A1 explains that for religious reasons, she keeps her hair and body covered. The officials rule this to be legal. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Well, of course, the rules have changed. National Federation of High School Basketball rules. We don't need any exemption for religious head covering. Used to be, just a few years ago, that if we were going to have religious head covering or a helmet or padded, then we would need a letter from the state authorizing the wearing of this. The religious component has been removed. If a player is wearing a headscarf, a head covering of some sort that is religious, there is no color restriction in this instance. Now, if this player is wearing an undershirt and leggings to cover their body, these items still require color restrictions be correct. So if they are wearing black undershirt and a long sleeve undershirt and black leggings, this would be legal as long as all team members who participate in the game conform to the same color restriction. So without knowing that has been incorrectly done, were our officials in this instance, were they allowed the red head covering and black? Were they correct by rule? Yes. Yes, they were. There's no color restriction on religious headgear. There's no reason for a requirement for a letter from the state as there used to be in the past. Our chat monitor deleted something from Billy Mack. Oh, was it wildly offensive? Oh. Greetings, Phil Haddad. Oh, Greg. Oh. I go there. I go there. There. Hold on a sec. What am I going to... All right, Greg's placed me in a bit of a quandary. What am I going to do? Am I going to go back and redo the whole thing? Because obviously I was incorrect. Home team, white uniform, can't have the undershirt. The undershirt must comply with the rule. This would be a tough situation, one that we'd be looking for a solution. So, we can obviously tell the coach, there's no issue at all with wearing an undershirt to cover the body. That's understandable, but uniform requirements say that the undershirt must be the same. Do you have a long sleeve white undershirt that this player can wear? Right? And let's say another player has a long sleeve white undershirt and they'd be willing to get, great. Okay. So we found our solution. Coach, I need both of these players to leave the visual confines. We would certainly expect our original player to do that, but both of these players need to leave the visual confines of the gym, make the appropriate corrections, and then return, right? We want to be preemptive with that. We don't want to say, hey, coach, this is the solution. Okay, deal with it. And then we have players removing jerseys in the visual confines, and then we're under pressure to assess player technical fouls. Like I say, we wouldn't expect our original player to do that, but anytime we're saying that the remedy is an undershirt has to be removed, then obviously a jersey is going to come off, and we want to be proactive in doing that. But Greg has caused me the conundrum. What will I do? Will I go back and redo the question? No. No, it'll be on the editing room floor. Oh. Now, of course, this kind of situation is always oftentimes dealt with, with your local association says, hey, player A has an exemption to wear undershirts that don't comply, right? And most officials, hey, if it's anything to do with religious, I'm not going to touch it, right? A player's wearing it. I had a player wearing a necklace, right? It was a string necklace with something there. And I say, hey, if he's going to, I tell the coach, if he, once I recognize it, right, I say, if he's going to play, coach, he's going to need to remove the necklace. Later in the game, the player is in the game. I recognize it, and I direct the player to leave, and he says, I taped it, right? But what he did is he taped like the medallion portion, and the string is still around his neck, right? Religious implements are allowed, a wrist, something on the wrist, something around the neck, but must be taped. If you have a necklace, a taping of a necklace is going to be like, if you use the physio tape, which is really flexible, you could probably do it pretty effectively. My counsel to the player and the coach was, in the future, maybe a mock crew undershirt would be the best solution here. I mean, if it's under the undershirt and not visible. You need something in writing from the state for anything on the head other than religious. So concussion stuff, padded, football helmet. We do have that, and yes. Thank you, Thomas. Sort of. Good luck, David, with that. All right, Ted's got one. Team A on the line shooting 2. Team B has only one player eligible to participate. One player cannot occupy both. How do we adjudicate? We go to Billy Mack, because Billy Mack's got the rules interpretation. I believe I asked in a previous episode if there was an actual ruling on that situation. And yes. Yeah, color of seams is not a thing for me. All right, fantastic. If something is medical, right? If something is medical, it must have an accompanying letter that indicates that. Simple. That is correct. And Tom, unique language there. No, we're not touching that black undershirt in this situation. But, so for many officials, can we find a solution? Right? We have an issue. We understand what's going on. Can we find a solution? Right? And can we also just say, hey, we're going to allow it? Has a crime been committed if we do? Maybe that's the best solution in this situation, right? Coach, do we have a white undershirt with long sleeves that this player can wear? If they do, it's available. Is that a simple solution? Yes. They do not. Is there some, that we've exhausted all options? NFHS is basketball is a participation sport. Easier said, no. Yeah. We want to find solutions that allow players to play. Is the solution in this instance to ignore the requirement? Maybe it is. Maybe that's the best solution. But I'd still say rather than adopt an approach like I'm not touching that, right, is to try to find that solution, right? That's what I would say. And nobody's going to care. Nobody cares. Nobody. It's not the opposing coach is like, she can't play. But what if the opposing coach did? Right? I had my players had to have their uniforms correct, or otherwise they wouldn't be allowed to play. And now you're going to allow her to play? Right? What if you get into that situation? Ay, ay, ay. Requires an escort. Now, we have directed the players to leave the visual confines, so we would, by extension, have some liability there. Yeah, Thomas, it's not the favorite part of our role for many officials. It's like, why do we have to deal with this crap? It's not important, etc. Understand, but it is part of our job. Whether we like that portion or not, it is part of our job. It is inconsistently applied, right? You know that when the coach says, "Hey, yesterday they allowed us to wear the illegal undershirts," or all season long, nobody said anything but you, ref, right? You know they're not they're not necessarily making that up. All right, Tyler in the chat. Thank you for watching. I officiated my first official games last night. All right. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Tyler, tremendous. Congratulations on working your first games. I'm sure it seemed very fast. And if we've, because one of the things that we do with our show and with our channel is we help officials gain confidence. And yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, that's really a key part of success for young officials is just your mechanics and your game administration. And if you administer the game effectively, oh, that goes a long way. If you are confused about what we like to say about what happens next and the game slows down because of it, that can lead to frustration for stakeholders. So tremendous, and congratulations to you, right? Because obviously you're the one executing on the court. That's awesome. Yeah, it's not so hard to do. It's not hard to do. But it's nice when we have license not to, like we at local youth games here. We've got number 17. We've got two number 17s. I had two number 17s. They're lined up. Players need to check in, so they're lined up. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, okay, we got two 17s, right? This is going to be allowed at this level. All right, and then I go to my default. Okay, so how are we going to identify which 17 is which? So usually we go right to the shoes, black shoes, white shoes. So we got 17 black shoes and 17 white shoes, except they're both wearing white shoes. Socks, both wearing white socks, right? And one of them had some hair color in her hair, right? And so I ask the other players, what do we call this hair? They say, oh, that's two-tone. Okay, 17 two-tone, right? And we're in the game and things are going on. And I'm thinking to myself, don't be too eager to call a foul on 17 just so you can report it as 17 two-tone. But fortunately, she provided all the necessary fouls for me to do just that. Yep, you're right, Thomas. But, so there's two things. One is there are officials who do not understand the rules, the equipment rules. They think that the package, wristbands, headbands, leg sleeves, arm sleeves, pads, it's all that stuff, and undershirts are all combined. So everything has to be black, etc. So some officials do not understand the rules. And then some officials are like, I do not care. It's not my thing, man. I'm not enforcing that tonight. I don't care, right? I want to get calls right. I don't want to do that. So all of those things lead up to, the players in our game show up, and, we're left to deal with it, and we're left with pushback. Nobody said anything all year, ref. Are your players legally and properly equipped is a question. They will respond. Does that carry any weight going forward? No. No, it does not. That is, any lawyers in the group would say this is some sort of question that the answer to which is not binding. It's not binding. Greg, that's a great approach. Okay. Yes, Jacob, not in this league that I did the games in. There's no, we had 78s. Really put a lot of pressure on your reporting mechanics. How are you going to report 78? Cool. All right. Wow, we went down the illegal uniform rabbit hole on that one. Okay. I want to go there. And then there. Hold on. Another play scenario? Sure. A1, in attempting to screen, takes a stationary position in the path of moving B1. The position of A1 is so close to B1 that B1 cannot avoid A1 and gets knocked off balance. The officials rule an illegal screen on A1 and use the punch signal to indicate a team control foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no, right? So we are screening a moving opponent. When a screener is screening a moving opponent, they must allow time and distance for the player being screened to avoid the screen. That's a simple summation of screening a moving opponent rules. In this instance, A1 did not do that and is liable for an illegal screen. In addition to getting the call correct here, our official uses the antiquated punch signal, a crime to be sure. So in this instance, were the officials correct, yes or no? Well, we've got a bit of a combo here. They were correct in their ruling about the foul. Per NFHS mechanics, they used an antiquated signal at the spot of the foul. This would be a breach of protocol at the NFHS level. So I guess technically we were correct, but what's our ruling here? Our official was correct. Yes, they were. The use of an inaccurate signal does not negate the correct ruling on the play, and we say, long live the punch. Of course, in some parts of the country, the punch is still in use and is not relegated to the improper signals that are confusing to game stakeholders. I just don't buy that. We've eliminated the punch because it's confusing to stakeholders. I do not think that is correct. That is me. Hey, give me just a second here. Ah. R.I.P. Correct, Tyler. Correct. And use the correct signal. How about a nice Hawaiian punch? Nice. Oh, okay. Okay. What if there wasn't a try? Screening a player from behind must allow one step. A stationary player from behind must allow 2 stride steps for a player. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Okay, Thomas says A1 is warming up during halftime. Officials come onto the court and A1 dunks the ball. A1 is not in the scorebook and the coach says A1 is not playing. Do we still have a technical foul for dunking? Well, let's say we're working a JV game and the home team is warming up on the court. During halftime of the JV game, we come back, we're a little early, and we see one of those people dunk the basketball. Or let's say a dad is out of the stands showing his son, he's still got it. I still got it, son. Okay. If they're not part of the team, then there's nothing. Nothing. Yeah, it's some say it's the best part of the show. I don't know if I agree with that. Okay, correctable error. Yeah, so we had the correctable error scenario, but didn't really talk about it. So let me go to favorite. Oh. Hold on. In the search box. All right. Thomas asking to briefly go over correctable errors, right? And the time frame. Briefly, it's when an error has been made, we are, instead of awarding merited bonus free throws, we are inbounding the ball, right? We believe it's a spot throw or a throw in nearest the foul, such as in our previous play. We have erroneously not awarded the merited free throws, and we award a throw in. The ball becomes live, basketball is played, and then the ball becomes dead. That is our period to make the correction. Once the ball then subsequently becomes live again, the correctable error period has ended. So if we were supposed to award merited free throws 1-on-1, we award a throw in. Team passes the ball, shoots, and scores. When the ball goes through the basket, the ball has become dead by rule, and a subsequent throw in, once that ball became live, that would end our opportunity to make that correction, right? The other factor is, let's say that we award the throw in, dribble, shoot, miss, rebound, go the other way, dribble, shoot, rebound, miss, go the other way. Basketball is played, the ball remains live, and then suddenly, ultimately, the foul is called and the ball becomes dead. Table informs us that is our correctable error time frame because the ball has not yet become live. Once it becomes live and then dead, that's the correctable error time frame. Now, the other component is that the clock must properly run. So let's say we had a situation where, the clock has to properly run. I can't think of this situation at the moment. Okay. Let me know if that was sufficient. I'm going to do that. Oh, chat is hopping today. I appreciate everybody jumping in. Oh, let me go there. I know in some places they still use a punch. Well, Thomas, you can get into situations where, let's say we award bonus free throws erroneously. There's only 6 fouls, and we award bonus free throws. Player A1 steps to the line. The ball is bounced to them. The ball has become live, right? They shoot. They make it. The official grabs and the ball becomes dead. The official grabs the ball. They bounce the ball to the thrower. The ball became live. They shoot. They make. The ball becomes dead, right? This entire sequence, live, dead, that would seem to negate our correctable error time frame. But the missing component, now the table says, hey, ref. Actually, that was only 6 fouls. And we shouldn't shoot those free throws. Has our correctable error time frame ended? The ball became live. The ball became dead. The ball became live. The ball became dead. Absolutely, right? The correctable error time frame by that reference has ended. Has the clock properly started? No. So can we correct this situation? Yes, we can, because that component is required as well. So that, Thomas, is what I would say about that. Let me know if that makes sense. Greg has the same reference. Right. Awesome. I'm glad we were on the same page on that. Cool. How about another? A1 gets the ball in the post, drives to the basket, and is fouled by B1. The ball goes in. A1 turns and taunts B1 and is assessed a technical foul. It is A1's 5th foul. The officials allow A1 to attempt his merited free throw, and then they follow the disqualification procedure for A1 and allow the head coach to select a player or eligible substitute to attempt the 2 free throws for the technical foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right, so A1 goes in, scores, and is fouled. Has something to say, like, that's on your head, whatever. Directs an unsporting comment towards their opponent and is assessed a player technical foul. Hey, ref, that player's got 5, right? The officials say, okay, all right, well, they're due 2 merited free throws, so we're going to let them shoot those free throws, and then we're going to disqualify them, and then we will resume allow the opposing coach to choose a player or eligible substitute to shoot those free throws. I guess that's what our second part of that question, obviously the opponent is going to do that. So is that the correct procedure on this play? Obviously not. When a player receives their 5th foul, at that point, they should be disqualified immediately and are no longer eligible to attempt the merited free throws in this situation. This is simple and straightforward. But it's a conundrum in that, well, wait a minute, they are awarded 2 free throws and now they're disqualified. Do we, et cetera, right? Officials become confused in this instance because clearly, by rule, when a player receives their 5th foul, that is the moment that the coach should be notified that they have been disqualified. When a player is disqualified and is due merited free throws, their substitute would attempt those merited free throws. Who will determine who the substitute is? The team's coach will make that. Coach, I need a substitute. They're going to shoot the free throws. So in this instance, when the officials did something other than that, allowing the player to attempt their merited free throws prior to being disqualified, were the officials correct? No, that wouldn't be the correct ruling on this play. No. Don't do that. Greg, I don't know if you're talking about this play, but let's think that through. So let's say, all right, so let's say in this play scenario, our officials allowed the player to attempt the merited free throws, and then after their free throws, like obviously the lane is going to be cleared, so they allow him to attempt, and then after the completion, hey coach, that player has 5, and at that point, the opposing coach realizes, wait a minute, he had 5. He can't shoot those. You can't count those, right? Is that a correctable error situation? No, it's not. That would be, if I was the offended coach, I would not be happy in that situation. All right, Ashton shows up and is pumping it up. Let's go. Awesome. Tony, all right, now, Tony, you submitted a play for a throw beyond the 3-point line that's deflected by a defender and the ball goes in. Is that correct? Is my memory correct? It was a great clip, great example. Patrick, can you help with defining eligible substitute? I've seen it a lot, but not all Is not all substitutes not fouled out eligible? Yes. Correct. Right. They obviously, yes. That would basically be it. A player who's not disqualified, right, fouled out or received a flagrant foul, has not been disqualified, would be an eligible substitute. So, Tony, in your email, you said you were pleased with the fact that you had made the correct ruling, which was 2 points, and we will definitely have that play on 5 Play Friday. But any thrown ball, National Federation of High School, any thrown ball from beyond the 3-point arc that's contacted by an opponent that goes in the basket is a 3-point goal by rule. I thought we made that clear in the 5 Play Friday episode. So I was confused by your email, which seemed to be feeling that you'd gotten the play correct. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. It's a great clip. I like it better than the collegiate clip that we showed. I just wanted to clarify that. So when if you want to rescind the submission, let me know. Thomas, about a correctable error play. Okay, Thomas, so correctable error play, we erroneously award a throw in, and then Team A scores. Well, obviously, when Team A scores, time has to have run off the clock. The ball was thrown in and they scored. The clock did start after the initial throw-in. We have erroneously awarded a throw-in. The ball has become live. The ball has been thrown in. The clock properly starts. I guess we could construct a situation where the clock fails to run. Ooh. And we have no definitive knowledge, and the goal is scored. Oh, that would be a great one. That would be a great one. But the clock will have run in this situation. We awarded a throw-in. We should have had free throws. The ball's thrown in. The team scores. The ball becomes dead. Time has elapsed. The clock has run from the time the ball was touched inbounds until the ball has become dead. I knew it was coming. I think you missed. Yeah. Well, Curry was back last night, and I think they were still down by 30. It's tough being a Warriors fan out there, man. All this, you run out of rings, fingers for rings. It's rough. It's rough out there, but let's look at yet another play scenario. Oh, I'm out of play scenarios. Oh, that's cool. All right, let's go there. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, give me a second. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I got to do that after the fact. I am out of play scenarios. We're almost 2 hours? Yeah, that sounds about right. So, Thomas. A1 shoots a shot with 1 second on the clock. Okay. And the defense touches or deflects it as the horn sounds in the air. No basket. Has the rule changed? Well, what causes the ball to become dead is the key for a try in flight. When a try is in flight and it is contacted by the defense, does that cause the ball to become dead? When a try is in flight and there is a foul, does that cause the ball to become dead? Right? When a try is in flight and an airborne player crashes into a legal defender and a player control foul is ruled, does the ball become dead? Right? Knowing when a try is in flight, when the ball becomes dead. Knowing when the ball becomes dead. Young official from New Hampshire. Knowing when the ball becomes dead is a really key fundamental concept. We could take that onto the court with us and get that right every time. That really, really keeps us out of trouble. So, Thomas, if a try is in flight and the defense contacts the basketball, that does not cause the ball to become dead. Right? Now, in our situation where we are throwing the ball, you see, this is where when we talk about this rule about any ball thrown from beyond the three-point arc that goes through the basket is to be counted as 3 points. So there's 1 second left. I see a teammate in the lane. I throw them the ball. The defense contacts the ball. The horn sounds. The ball goes up in the air. and the ball goes through the basket. Do we score that goal? This is where the rule, the fact that this is not a try, but that goes through the basket, that's where the rule lets us down, right? We can make a judgment about whether it's a try. It's clearly not a try. It's thrown. The defense deflects the ball. Goes through the basket. What do we do in that situation? The horn sounds. The ball is in the air. It's not a try. If it goes through, it's to be counted as 3, but has the ball become dead by rule in that situation? Ay, ay, ay. I would say it has. Because the bottom line is the ruling from NFHS is the thrown ball from behind the three-point line, if it passes through, shall be counted as 3. But it's not to be considered a try by rule, only that it shall count as 3. Basically, I think there's a void in the rules where we're going to have to make a determination, and we don't have guidance by rule or by case play to fill that void. That's what I'm going to say about that. You know, when I think of craziest, I think of sequences in the game where there's frenetic activity, something wild happens on the court, play continues, and something additionally wild happens, and it all happens in a wild sequence, and then it ends with a player making a ridiculous shot or a tremendous save, that something unusual happens. I think more in terms of crazy sequences, because they can really rattle us in terms of our awareness of what's going on here. There's a void, a chasm big enough to, or yeah, I'm leaning. That's, to me, that's what we have. I agree with all the elements of that statement, of those statements. Lance, I actually didn't watch the game. I sort of fast forwarded to the end. I had a game last night and needed to get to bed. Because why? Because we have to be up bright and early here in the beautiful Bay Area. I think last night was probably pretty, but at least Steph's back. Wiggins back. They're rusty. Andre Iguodala's back. Poised for greatness. Now they're going out on the road. What's going to happen? Okay. Team B scores a goal in A's basket. A gets the points. Team B gets the throw-in. Right? I love players who make plays from the floor, either start a dribble and get up, or make a pass, or make a shot. Some kids show real skill in that instance. All right. I am going to hit the road. I'm going to wrap it up. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, I don't know what that means. My tech team gives me all these instructions. I don't know how to follow them. You know, at this point, I'm like, I'm holding on for dear life. I am going to let everybody go. I hope you have a great rest of the week. I have a night off tonight. I have a night off tomorrow. And then we'll go doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Saturday. So I hope everybody has good weather that allows you to play there in the Midwest. And all, we'll leave the chat going for a bit, but I am going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody joining today, and we'll see you next time.